Welcome back to Adventures with Bam. I'm Brent Billings.
And I'm Maggie Billings.
And this episode has us hearing the official results of Maggie's hearing test.
So once upon a time, let's see, Darius was 2 months old and I got bronchitis real bad. I don't remember what my fever was. My fever was quite high for several days in a row. And, 2-month-old and I'm trying to pump milk. It's this whole thing. So my mom comes down to visit to help take care of all of us. And I remember a couple days in, one of you guys took my temperature, and I remember asking, how do you...
It was me.
It was you. Okay. How do you know when to take the thermometer out? And you were like, when it beeps? I was like, we've had this thermometer our entire marriage. I have never heard this thing beep. And you and my mom were like, I'm sorry, what? So that started a whole conversation. They'd put it right up to my ear. Can you hear this? No. So I think the theory started there of what else can you not hear? So I think, I'm trying to remember the order of these things. I think it was before the hearing test. I don't remember if you did one of those online things where it was
Yeah, so before you got your official hearing test, I just got a YouTube video that has one of those ascending tone things.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it starts off a
lower pitch.
It's just climbing. So, and it tells you the number, the video tells you the number, the frequency that it's at. And you stopped hearing anything after about 5,000 hertz.
Okay.
Which is quite low.
I mean, I don't know. So then you, in order to understand my experience and share with others, it's like a fun party trick. You took a song that we both know and messed around with the audio and removed everything that I can't hear. And I remember you playing it like you'd play the original and then you'd play back the version that you mess with. Okay, what's the difference? Can you hear the difference? I'm like, no, they're exactly the same. You're just playing this song for me.
I will play that now. So as we're switching back and forth, Maggie can't hear the difference between those two versions.
I can't. They're exactly the same to me. So at that point, we were like, okay. But it was I can hear, I'm not deaf, I can hear, obviously I'm interacting with the world around me.
Right. And you're a violin player.
Yeah, I'm a violinist.
The highest note that a violin can play on the strings in a normal fashion is low enough that you can hear it. So you weren't missing any notes or anything like that.
Right. There are some harmonics that I can't hear, but in general, I can hear my instrument, which is good.
That is
I mean,
important.
I wouldn't be the first, there are deaf people who are and have been incredible musicians.
You could have been Beethoven.
I could have been him. Anyway, so I don't remember why. I think just out of curiosity, we were like, well, why don't we go get an official one and see what our options are? Do I need a hearing aid? So into Costco for a hearing test. And this was several years ago.
Yep.
So
I don't remember exactly when, but yeah, a few years ago.
It was kind of a fun experience. We went into this very little soundproof booth room, and she had me do a bunch of different things, but mostly it was I had these big headphones on, and she would, she'd do similar things where she'd play different tones, and I'd, raise my hand when I couldn't hear it anymore or whatever, or she'd play back the same word at different volumes too. And so she was testing tones versus volume and
left ear versus right ear.
Yeah, all that stuff, which is really interesting data to have. And basically what we got out of that is my hearing is great until you get to 5,000 hertz, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I basically can't hear anything unless she cranks the volume, like top volume, right?
Yeah, just obscenely loud.
Which you said, so I could, she would play something and I could hear it. I could be like, oh yeah, I can hear that now. And it was like very low, like whispery. Like that's how I could hear it. And you said it was like blaring out of the headphones or something, right?
Yeah, it's just awful.
This is so crazy. So basically, I was
will
like,
not be playing a back-to-back track.
no. So we were like, what do we do? And she's like, I don't know. She's like, you don't really have to do anything. Like, you can get a hearing aid if you want, but you're not missing much. It's like some birds that I can't hear. Obviously, some higher harmonics, certain musical tones.
Yeah.
But I can hear
the sizzle of the cymbals.
The sizzle of the cymbals. I can hear, I can hear heavy equipment backing up, and I can hear my children's voices, and I can hear most musical instruments.
But not always the birds. Speaking of birds, there have been a lot of evening bird sounds recently.
Big fan of that. Love the bird action.
Yeah.
Anyway, what is crazy to me is when other people will mention the sorts of things that they can hear. I feel like you have said this, and then a few people at work have said that they can hear electricity. I'm like, I'm sorry, what do you mean? And we've got this whole area at work that is specifically for electrical testing. People donate electronics, and we try to like plug everything, make sure it turns on and works before we try to sell it. And they've said that there's like a very faint buzz for certain types of electronics. And I'm like, that, when people tell me...
Oh, sure.
Okay, yeah, I mean...
Well, I was thinking like the sound that you hear from like high power transmission lines, like the big power lines. If you're walking into those and it's quiet enough, you can kind of hear like a little crackle buzz sort of thing.
I don't know why you're saying you. I can't hear that.
Well, I don't know that you can't.
Huh. I guess I haven't.
I'm not convinced that sound is that high of a frequency.
Interesting.
The general sound that I think of when you say hear electricity is a much lower sound. But if you're talking about like general like electronic hisses and stuff that come with electronics, sure. I could see how you might not hear some of those things.
Yeah, I guess. But
I think the people who are telling you that they can hear electricity are not actually talking about electricity.
They can hear colors. But what's crazy is like sometimes we'll share, someone will come over or whatever, and we'll share like, oh, here's what Maggie can hear, here's what she can't hear. And the reactions are crazy because people have said like, wow, it sounds like you're underwater. And then they talk about the things they can hear. And I'm like, honestly, your life sounds overstimulating. Like, I cannot imagine all of this extra noise. There's enough noise in my life right now. I cannot imagine it being even more than what it is. So
maybe
I'm not complaining. I'll take my my bad hearing, and there's probably not that many birds I can't hear, right?
I don't know. I haven't looked into bird song frequencies.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see.
To do some investigation.
What local native birds do we have at or above 5,000 hertz?
But that concludes our 2-part miniseries. Your hearing is worse than my vision, but my vision has daily consequences, and your hearing basically does not.
Daily blessings.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, for the most part.
Yep. There you go.